His church have been at the forefront of charitable redistribution for over 20 years. We provide solutions for residual stock by taking items such as food, clothes and supplies, and by applying care and creativity, give these items a new life. And they are then redistributed to vulnerable people both in the UK and abroad. We specialise in providing secure and charitable solutions and partner with most major manufacturers and supermarkets. Our experience of working with trading standards, the police, manufacturers and brand holders has given us a unique understanding of brand protection and reputation across many different types of donation. Our logistics fleet, including specialist vehicles, enables us to remove logistical barriers in the collection, storage and redistribution of any size of donation, and also enables us to respond in emergency situations. Our very first donation was an £8 Morrisons voucher in 2004, and when we went to collect it from the store, we were offered our first physical donation of food, 192 cans of Heinz soup. Since then, we have grown to operating from a 50,000 square foot hangar, the largest redistribution centre of its kind in Europe, according to the BBC. Just as we receive any size of donation, our distributions can be tailored to reach many or to just one individual. The effect of something as simple as a change of clothes is explained by Jerry, who we met when we delivered food and clothing to the Whitechapel Mission in London.
He asked me before, he said it's not going to change the world, but what does it mean to you? And the truth of it is, it changes my world. And that's what it is, it just changed my world. And my world's just got better because of it. Wonderful.
Starting with providing solutions for counterfeit clothing from trading standards and the police, we rebrand clothing that might otherwise have been destroyed, and then that clothing can be donated legitimately. Our rebranded clothing even featured in an art exhibition in Berlin in 2012. Artist Oliver Larrick exhibited works exploring the art of the copy and explained how we had converted fraudulent goods into a new donatable brand, reinforcing our message. News of this solution spread, and we are privileged to receive donations of clothing from many different manufacturers and brands. As with the food, the clothing is stored and sorted according to type and has been sent all over the world. The more elegant and formal clothing we are donated is used to help people attend occasions such as funerals, weddings, job interviews or special events with dignity and improved confidence. His church were prepared ahead of time by having food stored ready for a time of crisis at the point when the coronavirus pandemic hit. We continue to operate, self-isolating and sending trucks across the country to help provide relief to people struggling to access food during lockdown. This continued throughout all stages of the pandemic, and our charity president was awarded an MBE in recognition of services to food provision in the UK during lockdown. Our partnerships and distributions cross countries, communities and faiths, and we are so pleased to be able to work with Muslim organisations in the UK who, as well as supporting people in this country, also organise larger aid consignments to places like Syria and Yemen where people are still suffering the effects of civil wars and have a network of distribution on the ground in those countries. We provide a solution for Tangerine Field sleeping bags which have been used for festival accommodation. These are collected, laundered and baled, ready for redistribution, and in an emergency situation, a sleeping bag can literally save someone's life. These have gone to many different places, including homeless people in the UK, to communities living high up in the mountains in Peru, and also to support people in the immediate aftermath of the earthquake on the Turkish-Syrian border in February 2023.
The partnership started a decade ago, and we're forever grateful for the support of his church. We've been through so much together, often in emergency responses like COVID. There was 500,000 meals into Islington were absolutely vital. And now we're standing at Heathrow Airport with the cargo going out of 1,500 sleeping bags. This conversation started last Friday, this time last week. And then a week later we're actually on the tarmac waiting for the aid to go out. In an emergency and when there's aid needed, you're our first port of call.
The success of this project was only made possible with all the different groups working together, and this collaboration between his church, the Arsenal Foundation, TCCA, the Turkish Islamic Association and the Turkish Police Association won the Third Sector Charity Partnership of the Year award in 2023. We've worked with football club foundations across the country, including our Team Up to be Champions project, as well as supporting warm spaces and holiday hunger initiatives. A recent project with the LFC Foundation used food that had been donated to his church to teach a group of young people from one of the foundation's programmes how to make nutritious meals, which were then distributed to a local homeless outreach. A great example of education, imparting life skills, saving food from waste and feeding people. We embrace the heritage and history of our site, which was a former RAF base, and love learning about events from the past to inspire the future. One example of this is Operation Manna. The original operation took place in 1945 to help starving people in Holland who had been cut off from food sources due to the Nazi occupation. Lancaster bombers flew out from Lincolnshire airfields, including RAF Binbrook, filled with sacks of food aid in place of bombs, which were dropped over Holland and saved thousands of lives. We launched our own Operation Manna in 2022 to help the people of Ukraine, who too had been occupied by a hostile neighbour. To date, over 600 tonnes, which includes over 1.3 million meals, through 15 different organisations, has been distributed to the areas affected, spanning the Ukraine as well as neighbouring countries with an influx of refugees.
Through our friends, God gave us 3 big trucks of food and other goods that we can help our people with.
Тому вдячні Богу і вдячні вам.
So we are thankful to our God and we are thankful to you.
We have received the charity from our friends in England and our partners from Germany. As we have received the very help needed, all the people of the church have been working throughout the night. By morning, we have been able to organize all the products into equal parts, having it ready to be delivered to all Kyiv districts.
I think the one thing that Operation Manna in 1945 showed was the human aspect of Bomber Command, and that its vital role was never really told until quite recently. And we've been at the forefront at telling that story. So to be part of Operation Manna 22, repeating the same level of support that was given in 1945 is hugely important. It carries our ethos of reconciliation and support. You know, some of the people that we've interviewed and spoken to, they're only here because of Operation Manna. And knowing that 70 years on, we're again in a situation where people are in desperate need of humanitarian food aid, I think there'll be an enormous amount of empathy, but also pride that they've carried that message with them all that time.
We are continually looking for creative solutions to unlock hard-to-reach surplus food, which is important both for people and for the planet. This is food which, for one reason or another, is not easy to distribute. For example, short shelf life, temperature requirements, mislabelling or bulk surplus food. To help with this, we are grateful recipients of a large RAP grant funded by DEFRA, which has enabled us to provide solutions for chilled and frozen food. The equipment provided by the grant has been used to relabel chilled products prior to their use-by date, so they can be blast frozen and redistributed as frozen food, as well as relabel ambient stock, which has either been distributed in bulk and requires individual items to be labelled. All the ingredients are in the wrong language or have been misprinted. The additional freezer, equipment and vehicles have also made a huge difference to the amount of multi-temperature food we can store and distribute. This has enabled us to save more food and in turn provide more variety and balance of food for our recipients. We've been providing a solution for Mattel toys for a number of years. These have been given to young people on projects across the country and are wonderful gifts for children at Christmas. This is increasingly more important with the current cost of living crisis, where many children may not otherwise receive anything at all. The aim of the Owen McVeigh Foundation is to create magical memories for children suffering from cancer. We support their Christmas party every year with the Mattel toys, together with other fantastic gifts from our donors. The children and their families have a truly wonderful time. It's impossible to show you, in this film, the range and the depth and the breadth of all the partnerships we've had, all the work that's been done, and all the lives that have been touched. We truly want to thank everyone who has helped and continues to help with this work. Together, we will continue to make a difference.